of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just tripping on day dreams, got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep. Whoa.
Good evening, Airsofters. It's our live stream, Minnesota's Airsoft live stream. I'm here with Cobra Alex.
What's up, guys? It's Tuesday, Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. We don't know what time it is. And we're here with David from Project Echo Airsoft.
Echo.
It is echoing. And I'm Gabe with the Minnesota Airsoft Association. Welcome. We're exhausted. I don't know how David's feeling.
Well, you might be exhausted. I'm pretty wrecked still.
That's what I'm saying. We're in different states of wrecked from our trip. And really what we're talking about before we start talking about events is, man, it just really seems like 2026 has been very busy. And maybe it's because we're paying attention more because we're doing videos and we're trying to help people promote their events. But it just seems like, I mean, it is. You could play Airsoft in 4 different locations every weekend. There's more places to play than there are days in the weekend or hours in the weekend to play. I mean, if you were cool, you could do it all.
4.
Yeah. You can go to Champion Valley, you can go to TCA, you can go to Crossfire, and you can go to, what's the one I didn't say?
Action Sports.
Big Lake Tactical, but good.
Action Sports. Big Lake Tactical. And that new one down Church.
We'll talk about New Prague too. We can mention
yeah.
New.
We probably should make our way that way eventually.
I mean, yes, that is a possibility. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sorry, we already started on a tangent and a rant or randomness. Stonebreaker was awesome. We will talk about Stonebreaker, and also we actually, as the seasoned veterans, having gone to 2 Third Coast Airsoft games.
I think we're experts.
Yeah, no. We are 2-time Tier 1 operators.
2-time Tier 1.
And we succeeded both times. Oh
yeah,
you better.
we
the
won
ring.
Royalty. I'm not worthy.
There were literally guys there.
No. Stop right there, because when you say that, like, so you get a patch for Tier 1, right? And then if you do, like, I think 10.
Yeah.
Was it 10?
It's every 10.
10, you get a different color patch. And after you do 10, there's 20, there's 30, there's 40, and then there's 50. Okay? Now,
Which has the 50?
Nope.
Nobody did.
Nope.
But, like, trying to think about, like, how you get 50, I don't know.
There are guys in the 30s.
There's guys in the 30s.
And I explained this, but the math is still weird. Third Coast Airsoft used to do a thing where, like, their entire game for a weekend was a series of Tier 1 games. So if they are Tier 1 missions. So if you went to that weekend, you might have gotten 5 Tier 1 patches technically, because you did 5 Tier 1 missions. So they did that a couple times for a couple years, I believe. That's how those people got crazy.
I just don't think 50 is like,
because they hold like 6 or 7 games a year.
Yeah, that's 20 years.
I mean, we did discuss about that, something to aspire to. The 10 was what we were hoping to aspire to.
Well, you'll be you'll be at 3 in October.
See?
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's 2 years.
Or go to more games. Or go to more games.
Oh, we'll talk.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Well, let's get to that, because like the money I spent, which was I made, choices were made, everybody, and I regret nothing. I regretted nothing at the time. Coming back and actually looking at my in my bank statement was a whole different thing. Here, we're gonna start real quick. 2-week notice. So we're trying to do this thing. We're trying to keep everybody aware of what's happening, both with our weekly rundowns and then with our live streams. We're always going to talk about the games. We're still not really great at lining up interviews, but we're still hoping to get more people in as time allows. 2-week notice for those of you who are planning. And I'll actually be honest, and David and Alex can both chime in here. 2-week notice is actually probably it's almost too soon. We probably should do like a 4-week notice or a 2-month notice for some people to plan. But we are 2 weeks out from Mir Sky Shield in Mohawk, Michigan,
which are major games. These are major.
Yeah, these are bigger games.
These are bigger games.
These are games. I mean, we would do anything. We'll promote anything that's happening within the 2 weeks. But Mir Sky Shield, that's a big game at a big field.
It's cool. Air Force Base.
It's a really cool Air Force Base. It's out there though. You can do a lot of stuff out there because there's nobody out there to care.
That's why I got Starlink, so we can stream from it.
Yep. So expect to see David doing Airsoft After Dark, maybe more than one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe live streams and After Darks. Contract Wars is coming up 2 weeks out from Contract Wars at Action Sports Wisconsin. It has a specific name, and it's Russian, and I don't speak Russian, and I'm not going to try because I'll just embarrass myself. But the overall title is Contract Wars. I just said I wasn't. It's not. No, that's no. That's don't confuse people. That's
the only Russian word I know.
Yes, that's because we play that one. So we're 2 weeks out from Kharkov. Don't also confuse. You know, it's more like Dostoevsky.
Vodka? You got vodka? I drink vodka.
Yeah, and people will be speaking in accents, which is not my thing. So we're 2 weeks out from Sky Shield. We're 2 weeks out from Contract Wars, and finally, we are 2 weeks out from Champion Valley, starting to run games Saturday and Sunday. And this will be on the expanded land. I assume we can still play both sides.
Yes,
but Saturday will be.
From my understanding is that a lot of it's going to be they're going to have the ability to still play on Saturdays, play those, but it will be sharing with any open play paintball on Saturdays. So,
because again, they have 8 fields that they were like, oh, those are great for airsoft, but then they had a speedball, and then they had like 4 more. So like they actually have a lot of places. I would think that depending on how many people show up, there'd be ample space to share a Saturday. But
is this an airsoft only area?
No.
Yes.
So
no.
Well, no. So the new area at Champion Valley.
Yes.
David, why don't you explain that a little bit more?
So it's between. It's just about 20-something acres, give or take, depending on how much of a hillside and all that you also want to play. When I was out there bare land, John and Erica have been kind of kicking it in the butt. I saw some pictures recently. They got some sort of cover and some props going in. I'm going to get some pictures out there. I think I'm going to go down there on Sunday because I have to pick up supplies for I have to pick supplies up for, where am I going? Mere Tactical Sky Shield. Oh, God, it's a Wednesday. And so I will get some more pictures, but yes, it is strictly airsoft over there. And then in the new area, it's all strictly airsoft because paintballers don't want to play. The paintballers that play at Champion Valley don't want to play in the woods. They want to play, they want to play in their nice courses. Nothing against paintball, everything against paintball. So this area here will be, wooded play with obstacles. It's a great fight from if you do a bigger game on a weekend, fighting one side to the other, it'll take you 6, 7, 10 minutes to walk across. It'd be like walking from probably about walking wise. It's like walking from base to base, fob to fob at Twin Cities, or walking from staging to trailer park at Big Lake.
And I think the important part for anybody who's excited about this, and this has been like, this is a big deal. Again, not only is it 30 minutes from town, but like this is undeveloped land.
Yep.
I mean, it has been used in the past, but again, as David just said, the paintballers don't really care about woods ball. So this has basically been unutilized land for, let's call it a decade, some period of time. So
it's been about 10 years.
Yeah. So it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've talked to John and Erica. I've talked to John and Erica about ideas. They want to do more. I think I'm more in the boat of, you don't have to go crazy. Don't start building stuff that is maybe not going to help you in the future. But either way, this is fertile land for new things to happen. So they're just starting. They just want to get some buzz up. Again, close to town is a real boon to anybody who's in town. But like, they are looking at this as a multi-year plan on what they can do to develop this area for airsoft. So.
And I will add one thing just to get it out there to the community. If you have stuff that you're trying to say get rid of, whether it be pallets or barrels or stuff like that, get a hold of John and Erica. They're getting a stockpile together just in case they want to do something. They have the props. They are available to do something, because I think when we were all talking, their goal is for open play is to kind of split it up into like 3 or 4 different styles of little courses, but still be able to 100% maintain the whole field for if they wanted to do, say, a monthly big game or something like that.
And something, and I don't think I've seen Eric or John on yet.
Oh, give
One
it
of the things
time.
I'm thinking about, yeah, one of the things I'm thinking about, David, is there's a possibility where the Minnesota Airsoft Association can be an intermediary. So maybe if you have certain items that you want to donate, you can donate to the Minnesota Airsoft Association
Yep.
for a tax write-off, and
Yep.
then I will donate those, or we will donate those to the field. I'm deciding that as an added benefit. Not a lot of people understand how nonprofits works, and one of those people is me. But one of the big benefits of having a nonprofit is the ability to, if you donate things to us, you have a benefit if you do things like itemized taxes. So that, again, not everybody does that, but
Yeah, especially
that's
so if
something.
you're a business, and you're wanting to donate, definitely 100%. Get a hold of any one of us, and we'll figure out the logistics behind it. But yeah,
We'll make something work just to
Yep.
make it more advantageous. Like,
Yep.
I'm sure some of you have like old cases, like wooden crates that you have for, and or barrels or any of that. Like, if you just want to donate, go ahead. But if you're interested in something else, let us know. And again, maybe we can make this a more interesting, beneficial thing for everybody in the community.
Because I know their post the other day said cars, but the engine has to be out and the gas tank has to be out. Boats without any engine, those things can be very decent. A write-off if you're getting rid of a boat or something. Aluminum boats would be really nice because those can go and be used as cover or be. I know there was talk when we were down there of building some sort of a city kind of residential kind of little thing, small scale, so that
so that what we did.
That would be great stuff to bring in there. But yeah, definitely I believe they have a lot of potential, because then there's also that whole north half where you can come loop around and use the current fields down the north half to be an L if you wanted to do, say, a real big game.
And I mean, as we're talking about this, I mean, the largest point is, again, they're starting Champion Valley will have Airsoft on Saturday and Sundays, utilizing that new wooded area as much as people want to, but they will be developing that for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big thing, everybody is. And we kind of talked about it maybe a couple of weeks ago where we were at, like, we have a lot of fields for how many people.
I feel like as Minnesotans, we're pretty spoiled to have so many fields.
I mean, if you think about it, we already had Champion Valley, just not as many people knew about it, but we had 4 fields. We're going to talk about 2 more coming up. And we basically have 3 stores, walk-in brick and mortar stores. What they carry, so like the fact that we even have that.
Like I said, we're pretty spoiled when it comes to
we are.
Like,
I just wish we had some bigger facilities so we could be even more spoiled.
Yeah, right. Like, we don't have, but we're not going to leak that. Well, it's not a leak. There was some talk about, hey, maybe utilizing Ripley again. Some other people that we saw last weekend were like, maybe we could utilize Ripley. I have my reservations, but that's not for me to poo-poo someone else's hard work and ideas. But like, so we do have a location, but it being a non-deployment state without real training facilities, like, we do have training facilities. Ripley's our facility, but it's not.
People don't know what Ripley is.
Not a lot of people know what that Camp Ripley is our National Guard training, and it's not like everybody comes there, right, David? You've trained up there, right? Like,
that's where I was stationed. I was stationed out of Ripley. 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year.
Like, their CACTIF is actually very nice. I don't think we could get 400 people there, but we could get a couple 200 people there. Anyway,
either way,
that was 2-week notice. 2-week notice. If you haven't planned, you're 2 weeks from now. You've got your Sky Shield, you've got your Contract Wars, you've got your Champion Valley open both days, and then there are other things, but those are the bigger news items.
Do we want
a weekly rundown?
Do we also want to throw in a 3-week notice in there then, too? For
I mean, here, and so because
the 3-week notice, the 3-week notice for Memorial Day is GAG.
Yeah.
So
and then nobody's competing with GAG at this year. So GAG being Memorial Weekend. So that let's talk about 3 weekends out. So 3 weekends out, the only thing you really need to worry about is it is Memorial Weekend. It is a holiday weekend. Some people love the holiday weekend to play because it gives them an extra day to recover or drink or whatever they want to do. For other people, it's a terrible weekend. I got other stuff to do. I have other things to do. But so GAG is Memorial Weekend. Blondie didn't know GAG was Memorial Weekend a couple weeks ago. She does know now. So that's coming up. So if you're planning on spring GAG, that is coming up as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Blondie, did anybody get a picture with her new swag? You know, there might be, if someone sends me a picture with her new swag, there might be a patch in your future.
She was wearing it she was wearing it when I saw it. So
yeah.
Project Echo. Yeah, no, she's gonna wear that out. She's gonna need to buy another one.
Well, now she's definitely, because now I just released the ones that she can personalize with her name on the back. So she'll wear that thing out until she can get the one with her name on her back, and you know. So.
Well, let's do recaps. David was at Big Lake Tactical for Drug Wars, which was the spring Drug Wars. There'll be another one in the fall. This Drug Wars was run by Travis.
Yep.
Whereas the one in the fall will be run by Thomas Skurzik. Tell us about Drug Wars. How did that go?
Well, it went off amazingly as soon as I walked in. There was a surprise, and this is the biggest announcement, you know, that I think came out of the whole Saturday. And right there above on the screen, guys, there's a Biffy at Big Lake.
There's an actual Porta-John at Big Lake. Long time coming. We thank you, Travis, and that's needed. And we encourage you to take pictures with the Biffy.
Yes, tag us on all social media. Tag us in Big Lake. The most creative picture at the end of the year may win something.
Yeah, I would say, because we're happy about the Biffy, don't destroy the Biffy by seeing how many people you can get into the Biffy.
No.
Let's treat it with some courtesy.
I'd like to say, if you guys use the Biffy, you know, like, use it, you know, like, after, you know, like, what's the word I'm trying to say?
Without swearing?
No, like, the way it looked coming in should be the same way it looks coming out.
Be a Boy Scout. Leave it better than you found it.
That's a better way, because that made me think booty. Like, your booty's already dirty. Here, yes, make it look better. Sidebar, but a good tangent. At Stonebreaker, they might not have had enough for 400 people at the location we were at, but like, it's literally like someone took a crap on the side of the wall.
Yeah,
like outside the seat. So don't be a filthy animal is really what we're saying.
So yeah, I don't
remember
know.
other people got to use that. Don't.
I am so clipping
humor
that.
Is funny.
I am so
What's
clipping that? I'm clipping that. That's coming a reel.
No.
Make us like it was like, it's like, come on guys, like, leave it the way you found it. You know, like, it was clean when we, like, I like progressively watched it get worse, because like we were there Thursday, right?
Yeah, we got there Thursday.
We got on site Thursday. I was like, oh, okay.
They were clean. Yeah, we're fine.
They looked fine. There was
Saturday morning. There was
a decent amount of toilet paper in there, and that, you know, by Sunday all the toilet rolls were on the ground, and it was just
people were savages. And literally, like, and hey, mixed days happen when you're at a field, when you're camping. I get it, but it was literally like someone crapped. If you're sitting, they like crapped behind, like the lid,
the flippy floppy lid,
the flippy floppy
a seat, a toilet seat.
It's called a hinge.
No, I don't know what it's called.
So you were out at Drug Wars and you saw too much camo. What team were you on? Please don't say.
Yeah, what did you dress up?
Hey, what time did the game start? Did it start on time?
Yeah, did it start on time? Let's start with our.
I don't
okay,
remember.
Never mind.
I don't remember.
That means it probably did. That's okay.
Because I didn't start on time, so I was busy. You know,
you were busy. Yeah,
I was busy finishing up the stream and then helping here and there. I think it started close to on time. It's. I'm gonna say it started before 11:30, but I'm pretty sure it started fairly close to 11.
Oh.
But don't hold me on that.
You're with a 30-minute window. Yeah, Emperor left baby toe. Whoa, that's up. I'm just gonna call you Emperor. What team did you play? So
not the camel team.
There was another word we could have used with that.
Wow.
This is one of those things, guys, when you're talking about those bigger games that don't have any organization, is that if you don't throttle how many people are on which team, one team can end up housing the other, right?
Were you Mullet
I sure
Man?
did.
Were you
I was
Mullet Man?
coaching.
Were you Mullet Man?
There's one of the El Tigre group. We're speaking directly to the Emperor's little big toe, camel toe. I said it out loud.
I didn't even think about that. Where's your mind at?
I know where my mind is
Gabe.
at.
I was talking about turds on the toilet seat, and here you are talking about camel toes.
These guys
Okay,
were
we did.
parked right across from the tent, so I saw them a bunch of times.
Okay.
You weren't
wasn't the
Mullet
mullet.
Man. Okay.
Well, then
Well-
thank you for that. Just from a global like fashion statement point of view, if you're not playing hockey, you shouldn't have a mullet.
Well, either way, how was the game though?
Yeah, how'd it go?
The game was good. It started out a little slow. I was on the Federales because I didn't want to walk as much, and I didn't feel like trying to steal drugs from people.
You have vehicles or do you have technicals?
No. Travis drove around in his vehicle doing work stuff, but no technicals. This one, that's technicals are a Travis one, I believe, or a Thomas one.
Oh.
Just like the DEA is also in the fall drug wars, where it's just federales. I would say all in all, great game. Yes, I would have to agree with left toe, that one too much camo for anybody who was playing on a cartel. I understood it being on the federales. There were some, most of Project Echo was wearing green. I hadn't put my tan on this year, so I put my tan on just because I wanted to get it out of the bin. But I only wore my top and my plate carrier. I wore jeans and that otherwise with it. But I would say yes. It was hard pressed at certain times to figure out who was who, because there was
No
a lot
armbands,
of
right?
no. There were each team had their armbands, but if they were turned the wrong direction to you, it was on the other arm. I would say that Airsoft community, we can do better. We can do better when it comes to games that ask for an attire.
Yeah. And so this is an interesting question. People who are on the stream, and then for us internally, like, what do you want? And I was kind of getting into this, right? Like, if you're going to go to a game and you just go, it's green versus tan, and you just show up however you want to show up, you could have 80% people show up as green and 20% show up as tan. So you can't control that unless the organizers make a really concerted effort to do that.
Wasn't there a time like when multicam came out, like that wasn't considered tan?
Oh,
No, it's considered
some
green.
places are.
Yeah.
Like right when it
Still-
first came out, like they because it was so hard to distinguish.
Well, and
Still
that's
is.
because
still is.
currently right now, the version of multicam that's out now is different than the original version of multicam. It's less green now than there was OCP, and then there was whatever, there's two different versions of it that they've kind of transitioned to a few years ago. So the original one was more of a green color. So
it was supposed to be the modern replacement for slightly desert vegetation, but still woodland or still foresty.
I will still say it's 10,000 times better than ACU. The Digiprint.
Everything's better than ACU. We shouldn't even talk about it.
I hold it near and dear to my heart because I was one of the first units in Minnesota to get ACU. So it's a little.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hey, the day I enlisted and went to Ripley, I was handed BDUs. I was like, ooh, BDUs. A week later, they're like, guess what? We're switching uniforms. I'm like, son of a, But
hey, Emperor's left, baby toe. Are you going to be hitting any mirror games this year? I'm just interested to see if you notice a difference. We all know or have discussed in private that Mir struggled with some of their games last year just organizationally. So everybody's hoping that they're going to be doing better this year. And Sheboygan was already good, right? Like Sheboygan was a solid game this year, right? So
solid.
I wouldn't be, well, all I'm saying is I wouldn't be hard on Mir. And I would always give other organizers at least a couple chances because, sometimes some things just don't turn out the way you hope they will. Roblox Moon Camo. Yes, I do mean Roblox Moon Camo. So How many people? You said about 100 people went to Drug Wars?
I think it was just shy of 100.
That's a good number. I mean, that's what I think everybody would like to see at least a decently sized game. If you played, I mean, we know Emperors here, was 100 a good number. What was Fallout? 70, 80?
Yeah.
I think that's what Thomas said.
I think it was 70, 80.
So no vehicles, but more people. So yeah, I mean, Emperor, we heard that too. That Sky Shield last year was disappointing. I do know people are giving it another chance this year. I actually know people who normally go to Sky Shield, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go again."
You
So
kind of have to, and like if you play a venue that's so cool, I mean, it's a unique venue.
Yeah.
And regardless of how the gameplay goes, it's like it might suck for gameplay, but it's like, man, I'm here. Like you don't get too many opportunities.
Well, I mean, it's fair. We've talked about that too with our own community. If you can play everywhere, and what were we saying? It was last stream. If you can only play once a month, and afford to play once a month, what do you pick?
Right.
What ends up being your criteria? Something stable, close. Sometimes close is just going to be a case because you can't be gone you can't take the time. You can't take the 1 or 2 days of driving time on either end. What's that?
I know what I'd pick.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'd pick too. But
I want something that starts on time.
Anything just said, did we transition into Stormbreaker, and did that start on time?
I do wanna say one thing to Baby Toe here. If you feel the game, when you go to any event, if you feel the game is not being run right, or you feel that something can be improved on, go to the promoter or go to your site and say, "Hey, I have a thought. I have an idea." You are a paying customer. Use your words. Do it respectfully, but mention maybe you have an idea where things could go differently to fix the scenario. We did that last fall, and we thought Sunday was 10,000 times better. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes promoters have staff that are supposed to be there that are no-shows, or things happen and things then go off the rail.
Yep. And we've been pushing this all year, right, David? Like, use your voice. And if you're not comfortable using your voice, find one of us if we're there. Find someone else who, don't be afraid. Again, it's how you do it. Running up to someone, I don't care where you are, and going, "This game sucks. You suck. Everything sucks." Is that feedback? Yes.
I'm taking a nap.
I'm taking a nap. I'm quitting. Is that useful? Is that constructive? Not really. There's a fine line for an organizer as well, right? There's only so much an organizer can do. But if you do nothing but just complain, I mean, maybe everybody knows that game was not going the way it should have. But if you don't say anything, and you're not willing to share anything, maybe even help, then it's just going to continue to be that way, right? Like David said, they stepped up that second day Sunday, and I think that second day Sunday, you guys stepped up, which helped your team really have a better day. The other team struggled because a lot of their guys left, right? So that was the other thing.
We may have stepped up a hair too much.
Yes.
Sorry, Tan.
And Baby Toe said the same thing. Like, staffing is a thing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you don't have appropriate staff, no matter what it is, and all the fields, local fields, are struggling to find refs, right? I know that Darren was talking about for GAG, someone's like, "Oh, you should make it 2 days again." And he's like, "I got to pay for staff for 2 days." And they do overstaff GAG for sure. But, that is part of this, right? And again, your opinions are valid and they are yours. So, just.
We hear you. We hear you. We hear you.
We share it. And again, your money is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You got to spend your money smartly.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who does not spend my money smartly.
No, I'm with you there. But use your
So,
voice. We're not, if we're at a lot of events, a lot of the big events too locally. We're gonna try to find us. If you feel, even if you just have an idea, if it's not so much of a grievance, whatever, you could still find us and say, "Hey, we it's not hard for us to go to any one of the field owners or management and say, 'Hey, someone so and so said this.'" It's not hard. Just listen for Gabe. Go find Alex in his car, or come find me under my tent. It's not hard to find.
Find his red umbrella. And
red umbrella.
And again,
and I got a team. Go find one of them. They can find me
on the trailer. It's really one of those things. Again, it's your money.
Mhm.
You do have a say into it to a point, and part of it is also saying I'm not going to go back. I mean, that is valid, of course, but everyone's got to pick their battles and make sure that they, again, you all want to play.
Let's talk
Yep.
about Stonebreaker.
Let's talk about Stonebreaker. You want to talk about Stonebreaker?
I like.
All right. Hey, but before we fit, David, anything else you want to say about Drug Wars?
The last thing I want to say is I wholeheartedly, in the kindest way of all, hate all you cartels because you decided that after lunch it was going to be all cartels versus federales, even though we had no drugs, no nothing, and we literally spent all day after lunch just in a complete firefight for our lives. It was fun as hell, but I hate you all.
I think I heard that they just played "F the Police" by NWA on loop during lunch, and it got them all in the mood to just kill you all.
That was great. But yes, no. It was great. There's a final battle at the end that we finally said, "Screw it, we're pushing out." The video, I hopefully, if I can just get the willpower to sit down and edit it, it'll be a great little battle. We looped around one way, tried to make a treaty, a peace deal, whatever, an alliance, and push through and go to take Blue, and because Blue was wreaking havoc all day. I will give it up. My hat is off to Blue. Don't take my hat off. Leave my hat on.
Oh yeah. Don't.
Blue, bravo. You guys were a thorn in everybody's side all day long. So, but
well, I'll just add one thing for Drug Wars too. Drug Wars is a betrayal game.
yes.
So
do whatever you want.
yeah, if you're the kind of guy who likes 4 or 5 teams, and then you just at some point are gonna BF somebody, buddy F somebody, that is your game. That's why I don't do well there, because I trust. I'm a trusting
A
individual.
lot of Blue Falcons out there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Stonebreaker. Woo!
Okay, we're excited about Stonebreaker. Alex, talk about Stonebreaker. Intro us. What is Stonebreaker about? So,
An airsoft mill sim.
it is an airsoft. It is a mill sim.
Okay, so where do I start? This is
Where was it? Yeah.
So this was in GTI Center in South Carolina. So it's I don't know, it's like a nuclear facility that never got commissioned or something.
Yeah, either a decommissioning or something.
Well, it never got activated. So now it's this training center that was like awesome. It was great, man. Like I can't say enough good things about that venue, that game, the event organizers. Everything is like tier 1 of when it comes to airsoft. At least in my opinion, like the way they operate, the staff.
Yeah.
Everything runs smooth. Everything gets done right. It was perfect at least for me. Okay. Man, they had how many vehicles?
So
10?
No, there were way more. So there were 8 vehicles on brown, and there were 6 or 7 on green.
Okay.
So
tons of vehicles. So it was a very rich environment for technicals and people who want to shoot. I mean, that's a whole other story for Gabe. But for me, great experience. I mean, I don't want to, there's a lot to talk about. Kind of. I mean, I got hurt really bad.
10 minutes in, we did get 10 minutes.
10 minutes into the game, we're riding around in a Humvee, which was like awesome. So if you've never ridden around in a Humvee, it's a great experience. But like we dismount, we're taking positions and we're running around, and then I'm like the 5 of us running around, I'm the only one that fell in the hole. Like blew out my whole side.
Yeah, perfect. Yep, that was a perfect sound effect that needed to happen.
But no, but other than that, man, it was like helicopters.
Yeah, so like the scope, I think, is what I wanted to talk about initially. Like the GTI, they had over 400 people. I didn't get a final count.
I don't know.
But like at some point, they're like, oh no, we're gonna get over 400 people. So imagine this huge place. We got to use the woods. It's a huge facility. 400 people, 8 vehicles on 7 vehicles. Chopper, like
dude, there was one scene that was like straight up perfect because the helicopter was flying over, and one of the technicals has this it actually like shoots blanks.
It's a propane adapter.
Propane adapter, whatever. But it is loud.
Yeah, it's a
And just
1919.
these guys using that with a helicopter flying over, and
it almost gets too loud.
yeah,
like it's
like if you want to have some fun, like that was it. I guess the only thing that sucked was the rain, but who cares?
Yeah, it pretty much rained from Friday night into Saturday until about 4. So we just got soaked. Didn't matter where
but it
you
was
were.
like what, an 80-degree rain?
70-ish. It was a pleasant rain, but at some point you were just soaked and it didn't matter anymore. Like we did where you took off your rain jacket at one point, then it started raining again. I left mine on pretty much until 9. Yeah.
But the facility is so big, like, to be honest with you, like, I never went inside any of it.
Yeah,
I was too busy fighting outside and taking over positions, and never got an opportunity to go inside any of the buildings.
Yeah, if anybody who's on stream or anybody who watches this later, if you go to the GTI, Government Training Institute Center in Barnwell, South Carolina, it's a beautiful facility. I actually think they made a point of not putting too many objectives. So like they have multi-floor, five-story buildings kind of thing. I don't think they put anything on upper floors. I think they try to keep everything on the ground floor just so that people could move in and out. So that was kind of a limitation for that. We did play the Tier 1. So for those that don't remember what Tier 1 is at Third Coast Airsoft, Friday night is outside of the main game. You pay extra fee, and it's basically a scripted field training exercise.
Yes, it's a scripted game.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, it's going to happen, and you're going to win.
You're going to win.
You know,
like, you're gonna mess up.
You're going to mess up, and it's going to be fun. You know, like you're going to laugh at stuff, and you're going to think like, oh, I should have done it like this, or I should have done it like that. It's a great experience. Anybody who's ever done, who hasn't done a Third Coast event,
should do it.
Do a Tier 1.
Yeah, David, when you go to Starburst, you should do it. And if you want us to do it with you, we'll do it with you. But
so like you're gonna do it with you so you can get your patch.
I might. So here's the thing: we could be on the other side. We could end up being cadre. We actually know people who could be cut. You know, we could run with Iron Legion. Iron Legion, if you're listening and you want some extra people for cadre, we can buy back black BDUs. We'll buy black BDUs so we can shoot at people.
Iron Legion, you're the man. You're awesome. Love your stuff.
Yeah.
Everything.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick, you're awesome.
But yes, my plan is yes to do Tier 1.
Yeah, I 100%.
At least once.
Well, I mean,
got to do it once.
You got to do it once. But I mean, it's a field training exercise. That's one of the things I want to take a step back is when you do a Third Coast Airsoft, there were at least 30 staff people at this game, and I think at least
more.
There was probably.
I would say more.
David, you might know this because it's again, everybody who runs this is either active or former military, so they have like their S tiers. So like you have your Tier 1 administration, and they like have a team that does only chrono, and a team that only does registration, and a team that only talks to vehicles, and a team that only does, and then with that you have your subs, you know, your multiple people involved. So like they are so deep on organization. Like I never felt like if there was a problem,
yeah, I was going to mention that.
They were on their, you know, their ATVs running to different areas constantly over the course of the day.
You did not see
refs working. Yeah. And they were
never
working.
Didn't staff. You always saw staff, no matter where you looked.
In buildings, outside, everywhere.
You know, like they would chase the firefight. Like if there was a firefight anywhere, you would see staff members.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny. I'll say this and then I'll counter it. You never feel so safe from a ref point of view as you do at that game. And then the counter of that is the massive amounts of pyrotechnics.
Yes.
Is the counter to that because people got messed up. I messed up some people. So
wear a helmet.
Yeah, I didn't wear a helmet.
I know.
I gave up on my helmet. So again, big game, big site. It's wonderful. You should go do it.
We didn't even mention the mortars.
I mean, we'll get there, right? So let's really quick. Anything about our flight that was interesting?
Our flight?
Yeah. Like
just
the picture of Gabe sleeping.
So,
that was great.
Yeah.
We got more sleep on the planes than we did in our hotel rooms. So
no, I mean we'll probably talk about it again for anybody out there wondering what it takes to fly. You know, it's an ordeal.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to waste it, talk about it that much, but just flying,
Do you think we packed appropriately?
Yes. And for some weird reason, I had a smaller box, and I was able to pack all my stuff in a smaller box. And then when I bought a bigger one, I didn't have enough room.
Yeah, you filled it. Yeah, we actually ended up carrying 3 cases this time when we went to Starbreak. Now we brought more stuff and logistics. This is why logistics is a thing in the military, right? Like if you can't support your troops, big shout out to Rich Cudahy as always for being that guy who drove a bunch of stuff down. Like I sent more stuff than I did last time, and we still ended up flying with more, which is just crazy. The one thing that happened that's interesting, and it's an interesting story, flying out of Savannah, Georgia, back to Minnesota, using our Pelican cases as our gun cases. We claimed airsoft guns as firearms. The lady's like, well, I got to see them, and I got to make sure they're clear. And we're like, what? She's like, yeah, I need to see the guns. You need to open them up. And I was like so many questions. Like we did what she said, but we were like, well, these are airsoft guns. Yeah. We did claim them as firearms, but we're like, we just want to rip out a AR. You want us to open the chamber? Like, would you know what that even looks like?
Yes, that's I have flown with real firearms. They want you right at the counter to pull that thing out and show that it's clear.
And it was interesting.
It seemed right.
It seemed weird to us only because it's never happened, and we've only flown a couple times. But like, yes, I mean that was, we didn't get there. Like once they explained airsoft, but we also could have been lying.
Yeah, I know.
And that lady was like,
I feel like that's really crazy. Like you'd pull out a rifle and be like, clear.
Well,
like,
do you realize how many eyeballs are on you though from security in that area?
But regardless,
nobody near us.
Yeah, but regardless, if you were gonna do that, they should have security on top of us, literally, like staring us down.
That was just the first time that had happened, and the lady was delightful. We were very respectful, as you always should be with TSA. Don't be a jerkbag.
Yeah, you need them way more than they need you.
100%.
So the minute you act a fool, it's over.
And actually, after we explained airsoft, she was like, okay, like we didn't have to open all our cases, but again, something to consider when you're flying. Whatever the TSA or whatever the ticket agent says, just do what they say.
And really, on that whole grand scheme, if you mean to do something malicious, you're not going to claim it. You're not going to claim.
No.
You're not going to, claim, oh, I have a weapon in here. Oh, can you take it out? Sure. But,
this was my chance. Now I can do it. Yeah, no.
She gave me permission.
That was the first thing that kind of happened. And again, because I think we were so respectful and nice, she was super nice to us.
Always be respectful and submissive to anything they want.
Submissive. Yeah, that's a different conversation, but we'll get into that.
I'm very
only soft.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Okay. One of the things we wanted to say, or why I wanted to say, is so milsim. Don't be afraid to go to a milsim game.
That was a milsim?
That was a milsim.
Oh.
Third Coast Airsoft Stonebreaker at GTI was a $200 milsim event that there were 14-year-old kids, 400-pound guys with barely any gear, even some guys running like mag adapter. Like, yes, they have rules. Yes, they try to keep a very structured, militarious kind of thing. What's that?
I don't want to get into like.
We're not getting into it. We're just saying. What I'm saying is, if you think you need to have $1,000 rig and be a handsome Hawaiian to attend a milsim, the Third Coast Airsoft milsim event, you don't have to be.
Remember,
nice if you.
The 3 of us on this stream are extra. You don't have to follow our lead ever.
Yeah. I mean, like, there is a level, there is a tier, right? Like, there are definitely people, but like, there were a ton of people from South Carolina, North Carolina, who were like, oh no, we weren't gonna miss this site. But there were kids. There were legit kids.
There were children there.
Old enough to play, but still.
Kudos to their parents.
Yeah, man.
Kudos to their parents.
Yeah. So
bring them out.
Like, so don't be afraid of that. There weren't magazine restrictions.
Well, other than mid caps.
And role based, right? Under a jewel, full auto anywhere, LMG rules, sniper rules, so like they have that all. If you as a player want to go that extra mile,
if you want to adhere to those rules to have your special weapon, and I did it. I went with an SMG, and actually this is really weird. That was the first time I played with an AEG in like
back to AEG
probably like 12 years.
And your experience was kind of mixed because it's the role. Like, we originally thought we'd be rolling in the vehicle a lot more than we did. And we ended up being dismounted almost the entire time. And there was, there was
a couple things I liked about it. The one thing I liked about it, I didn't wear anything.
Yeah, it was super light.
I took everything off, and all I had was a belt.
Ooh.
Yep.
Which felt very.
And chaps.
Yeah, and chaps.
Were they
And,
were they?
No. Yes.
It felt very. I mean, what do I like?
It was super light. Like it's
I
like
didn't have anything.
Yeah,
Was like,
it's kind of like when we've talked about playing open sessions. There are times when you just want to grab a high cap and go to open session. This wasn't that. You had to have mid cap mags, but like we both ran really light on Sunday, which was good because we were also exhausted.
there's a
Milsim
question.
West will turn people away.
Yeah.
I've seen it at American at AMS.
Oh yeah, and I
What did he
yeah
say?
asked if anybody's ever been turned away.
So I'll be honest. The last AMS event I went to, there was a guy who was on tan.
I think they shame him.
It's more of a shaming thing. They still let that dude play. He was in the wrong camo for his team. They still let him play. He got friendly fired so much that was on him, but they did not turn him away. Milsim West. So and I'm not trying to blow smoke or anything. Milsim West is kind of, from my point of view, in the United States, that's the highest level of Milsim.
That's the
you're
NFL.
gonna get. Yeah, because they have the highest standards. They're also the group where if you're like, hey, you're a fat piece of crap, you shouldn't play. Like they'll just flat out tell you.
If you fall out, you're out.
Yeah.
If
you can't just be like, I'll get there eventually. Nope. If you fall out of formation, if you fall out of march, nope, you're done.
My gun failed and I need to run to my car. Done.
Nope, you're done. So like they have very high standards. Everybody else wants to make sure you play.
So
and I'll say for Milsim West, they want you to play too, but they just want you to take it very seriously.
I forgot a pair of socks. I gotta go to my car. Done.
Yeah.
You are not allowed. Once you hit the field, that's it. You're on the field.
You better have a medical emergency.
Yeah,
you're done.
And they relish in that. So like they will lord that. So if you've never gone to the subreddit for Milsim West, they're just there, hard charging, high speed airsoft operators who'll be like, oh no, like I have this. That sucks. Don't use that.
You know, like I give them props, man. Like,
No,
they should have some special patch when they go to a game. Like I did this.
And if you make it through a Milsim West game and you continue to go to those games, that is its own level of camaraderie, right? Like that's a level of suck. Yeah,
flex.
that's a flex.
That's
a flex. Yeah, that's a level I'm not interested in, and we've said this before, right? Like, but if you are, hell yeah. But Third Coast Airsoft, they do have standards, but at some point they're going to loosen those a little bit. But here's the other thing: Third Coast is also really famous for things like, hey, sure, you can play, but we're limiting something on how you're playing. And things like, I don't think you get war crimes, which is you lose points if you do rule infractions. I don't think they do that for uniforms and stuff like that, but they do it if you're like a rifleman and you shoot full auto. Like if they see you, we're taking points off. Like they do on the back end try to keep a level of control.
And they'll come at, again, there's everywhere you look, there's staff.
Yeah.
You're not hiding. And you're not playing any games with them because, like, they know. Oh, yeah, that was another thing they did. When we were at staging, they checked everybody's iPro.
Yeah, they had their five. So when
there was a guy their staff checks every single person.
And when you went to Chrono, they were like, do you have your emergency card? Yep, show it. Do you have your dead reg? Yep, show it. Do you have your wristband? Yep, show it. Do you have your iPro with retention band? Yep, like they checked all of that. And then when we were in formation, they do that again.
Yeah,
so like
another thing they do after you go through their safety briefing, then they give you a patch. And if you don't have that patch, you're not getting anything done. Because like that was like your tickets proving that
that's their way of making sure that, like, you know, that they're controlling of your check-in process. Like they know everybody's taking the safety briefing, and they do, like, on Saturday they do like 10 briefings, and on Sunday they do another couple, and they do Friday briefings so you can get them done early. Anyway, like the organization of a Third Coast Airsoft game that's what you're getting for the Milsim experience. You're getting a real professional thing. Preparedness, we try to talk about it. We packed really well, and we still scampered with some stuff. Like when you're living out of your car from flying and only bring what you brought, that can be kind of a hassle. What else is on here? Use of VIX. Again, this was next level vehicle, because this wasn't. And when I say this, I'm not even talking about like the quality of vehicles. A lot of Humvees, the quality of the guns. Like again, modded M1919s, like 50 cals, like really nice guns. Yes, some had miniguns, some had just LMGs in the windows, but I mean, that amount of vehicles was kind of crazy.
To see, like, so even technicals, like there's like different tiers of technicals.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you'd see like I would say like tier 1 technical is your sweet ass Humvee.
Yeah.
You know, and then it slowly trickles down to like, what do you got next? You know, like
Yeah.
whether you modified a truck or you modified this or that, and then it just trickles down to like, oh, I got a side by side. I put it.
And then I would say every vehicle we saw was actually pretty well put together, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was who was it? Doomsday Paintball came with more kind of a traditional ATV.
Oh yeah, they had a nice,
four
they had
doors.
a real 4-door like side by side, which was like pretty decked out. It was pretty nice.
It was pretty nice, but it wasn't military-ish, but it was
It was very SWAT-ish.
it was very SWAT-ish, and because it was small, it was harder to hit. So I mean, there was an advantage to that. But again, there were easily 4 Humvees there. There was a regular just open back truck, but that looked more like Hilux, right? Like it looked like an Afghani kind of gun truck. That with that came the pyro. So I mentioned pyro, and we'll get into the mortar here in a second.
You're the pyro king.
I'm not. I mean, there were other people who spend as much as
I
I
give
do.
someone a crown, I think it was going to be you.
I mean, just thank you for noticing. So this is an event where people use a ton of pyro. And when I say pyro, you know, we're talking locally. A lot of people use EG. I say that is, David, you're a big EG67 user now, just because you've seen the use of it. So that did get used a lot, but the use of tagging was on display. Like Starburst last year was one of my first chances to really use pyro, and I didn't use it that much. This year I bought a lot. I bought probably $1,000 worth of tagging, and I shot almost all of it. I went through 8 boxes of Reapers, 4 boxes of chalk, and 2 boxes of Fate. So someone else can.
A guy just
Someone do the mate on that.
That one guy, he was sitting on like some fire ants or something. They got in his bag and he like dumped all of his Fates out.
No way, really?
Yeah, and there was like probably
Oh,
like
yeah.
70 Fates. He just dumped them all out.
And that was the thing. Like I was one guy. Reckon, our buddy Reckon was there. He had probably 100 rounds. You know, a princess from Iron Legion, who was also on Baker Company, he probably had that much. Like, this is a place where people spend real money on pyro. And now they were also using tennis ball launchers. They were using cherub rounds in different kinds of launchers. There was drone usage. That was mostly against.
I never saw any drones except at night.
On Sunday, we got to see drones, because if you were a drone, you could drop, and I don't know if they were all cherub, but you could drop like rockets onto vehicles and take them out. So like you'd see the drones coming, and I didn't know this was a thing until I actually saw vehicles start to run. So you'd see they control your speed, but you'd see the vehicles driving very quickly away, and then very little drone following them. In fact, there's a great video on the Third Coast Airsoft community page where from our vehicle, Baker 2-4, like them running away and the view from the drone chasing them, and they never got them, but we did see it happen a couple times, and it was really very fun. So the legality of this, we've talked about multiple times. Yeah, like this is private property, but these were small drones.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm bringing it up.
We
brought it up.
We brought it up, and evidently it was a thing. But they were dropping a payload off of drones that were more than 0.5 pounds.
Yeah, 0.55 pounds.
Yeah. So like, we don't know how the legality of that worked, but
well, there has to be some sort of legality, because Amazon and Walmart do it.
Yes. No. Again, like,
I don't think it's illegal to sell them.
No. I'm saying Amazon and Walmart drop packages from their drones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like, they got licenses. I've seen that stuff, dude. It looks like they can take like a baby cow. Like,
you probably could grab a Walmart one and it fly away.
Yeah, but that was cool. And then, so again, I spent probably $1,000 just on taggins. I actually took some of Alex's. Alex didn't get to use his launcher much at home,
because I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go shoot some stuff, and I bought Fates, and I had all this stuff saving them. I have dates written on them because when I bought them,
there's still 2 left. You can keep the 2.
Apollo wants to know if you could use it against people, or was it vehicle only launchables?
So
people got in the way.
No, that sounds terrible. So you could use not direct fire, but you could use it as a mortar, which is a good transition, and we'll get that in a second. So definitely, I was back a very far away, and I was arching, I was launching, I was mortaring, tagging rounds onto a hill.
You gotta mention though, like, so the the pyro that Gabe was using were delayed.
Yeah, I was using Reapers, which I had both 5-second timers and the concept of, and again, it's not a new concept, but like Hawkeye with your different quiver full of things. I had Fates, I had 3.5 timers, I had 5 timers, and then I had Chalk, and I wish I would have had some smoke too. Like you just kind of fiddle through, and when things are happening, you're just kind of, oh my god, which one? I had 2 bandoliers, tactical Taylor bandoliers, and I emptied those out multiple times.
And you're not directly shooting them at them.
I'm not shooting at people. I'm launching into areas.
Like they'd be on top of a ridge, and we're launching them on top of a ridge.
But mostly, I was going for vehicles, and I was hunting vehicles. Jax from Cherub, if you're out there, I was specifically hunting you, but a lot of us were, so that's cool. How'd the use of vehicles feel at Stonewall? Did it feel oppressive and hindering infantry engagements, or did it feel like you could progress? I'll be honest.
I thought it did.
It was kind of an equal mix. I'm one of those people, and if you see me ever playing at GAG, and David can attest to this, I run towards vehicles. I don't give a crap. I want to take out a vehicle.
But Aaron, you got to mention this though. So the vehicles at TCA, you are not allowed to shoot them.
At Third Coast Airsoft events, yes, you as a gunner,
shooter,
as a regular soldier,
BB shooter,
yeah, you cannot shoot technicals. You can only shoot them with launchables. So, and hello, James Kessler. So like that's as opposed to like at a GAG where they don't have a rule for that. So if you want to light up the turret gunner just to make him go back down, you can do that. At Third Coast Airsoft games, you cannot shoot the vehicle, the people, anything. The only thing you can do is shoot them with launchables.
I will say that no offense to anybody who brings vehicles to GAG. From what I'm seeing, is there's a lot more money in the vehicles at a Third Coast game.
Yeah, it's a different tier, and
God, don't even just. Yeah, I'm going to mention.
Go for it.
We had one of the vehicles, one of the Humvees, Iron Legion, which is a great team, great people, everything is great about them.
Yeah, they're a great group.
They're a great group of guys. They're friendly. They're awesome. And out of Michigan. So what's up, guys, if you're listening?
What's up, guys?
Man, their Humvee is like top of the line.
Awesome. And tell them about them.
They also have an infrared sight on the front of their Humvee.
Yeah, they have a thermal on the front.
They have a thermal on the front of their Humvee. So they kill the lights and they pop smoke and they see everything. If you look around, you'll find videos of
it's pretty stupid.
Like them in the cockpit, and you can see like they've got instruments from hell, dude. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really
they are the best example of the professionalism of an airsoft team, I think.
Especially as a Vic crew.
Yeah,
they had their second vehicle. Actually, they had what was it? Their radiator cracked or something.
Yeah.
Like they had
the way they operate. God.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Man, look at fanboy over here. I'm kidding. We love you.
Just sitting back and enjoying the show.
Yeah.
And watching those guys work is awesome.
So maybe you should have took pictures while you were watching them work.
I was taking a nap actually. Dude, you didn't touch my leg was messed up, and I was. Well,
I'll tell a different leg story. I don't know. Depending on who you talk to. Yeah, I don't know how depending on who you talk to. Tag-in rounds go anywhere, and they go in windows. A tag-in round went into the passenger side window, which technically, a lot of people say you shouldn't have your windows open on those technicals because things fly in those windows. A tag-in went into a passenger side technical, went off the dashboard, landed at the feet of the driver and blew up at his feet. And he got messed up. It might have been me. I might have had some questionable shots, like cool shots, super dope shots, but also questionable. That kind of shit happens at these games. Like people got hit in the head.
One was the Reaper.
Yeah, it was a 3.5.
So he was just like, "Oh God!"
No, he said he saw it and he realized there was nothing he could do about it other than let it explode at his feet. So like people did get hit in the face.
That's when you could just instantly cover the boys.
I think that's what
all you could do.
Because he was sitting. I think he leaned back and he didn't think he wanted to do one of these. Yeah, that's really all you can do at that point. Like 100%. Like people got hit in the head from falling pyro. That's why they say wear a helmet. People got hit in the face. Everything. Like I know Princess from Iron Legion. Like pushed one or like shot a guy. He wasn't shooting at him; he was shooting at something else, and it like bounced off something and actually nicked off the guy's cheekbone. Like things happen at these games, so we actually played pretty loose and free. But they say, hey, wear a helmet, wear a face guard, because again, shit happens at these games. And
I think they say wear a helmet for another reason, but
I'm not sure what that means. But
okay.
there's all
Explain later.
yeah, on our only soft page. But like that was the thing. And here was the other thing that happened. So this game, and it's not new, they were using it.
You ready?
Yeah, pull it up. So this is the IWA mortar.
Let me see if we can get a good.
And this was utilized a lot at Centurion the weekend before and at Stonebreaker. This is next level pyro. And this is like, I bought one because I'm a idiot who likes to spend money on stuff. Even though we're not going to be probably use these, maybe Big Lake, you shouldn't let me use it. But they have smoke rounds, which I don't have. I mean, I don't. So they have smoke rounds, regular just banger rounds, and then they have cluster rounds, which is when it hits, it pops out 20 additional rounds. So like from a Third Coast Airsoft point of view, if you use a cluster round, you can take out an entire grid with one of these. A grid on a map, because it hits, pops 20 other explosives out, and then all 20 of those blow up. And so if you're cascading of, explosions is at 20 feet, it's huge. These rounds start at $40. I think it's actually 43 for the single bangers, and they're 47 for the clusters. In my mind, the clusters are the best value. These are the current models, but they actually have a new model that has fins, which actually, so I think they were talking 180 meters, and with the new fins, they're getting out to 220, 230 meters. So like,
there's plenty of videos out there, you guys.
There's a lot of videos.
Go out there. I think
we took some videos of the training. I hope I got enough of it. But like, this is some next level pyro that I don't know. I know Action Sports allows these, so I might bring this to Tarkov. But like, again, we saw a guy who the package for the tube and 3 rounds was $636. Yes, and that was 3 rounds. And again, at $40-some a piece, like even just practicing. And the way these work, I think we open this one. They're not like a kick charge yet. You actually pull off the bottom, scratch it off on the.
It'd be so bad if you
strike it out like a
it'd be
flare.
so bad right now if you accidentally hit that.
Oh no! I'm very careful, mostly because it's expensive. My house would not recover either. But these were utilized at Stonebreaker. I think each team had at least 2.
Dude,
Shady
guy with a bandolier of them.
Oh no!
He had a bandolier of them cruising around in the rain.
There was a guy, and he actually had problems with them. Like the rain, like anything else. These are cardboard tubes. So like, I wouldn't have run around in the rain.
Neither would have I.
No. There was a guy who spent $1,600 just on his mortar system. And again, this is from IWA. You have to do a similar thing because these are high grade pyrotechnics. You actually have to do kind of like when Taggin did their P-top.
Yeah, I remember.
Their license thing. I had to do a license course, which was pretty easy, I'll admit. But like, I had to do a course before they'd even let me buy it. And they actually have some real, like, whereas the Mark 5s are NOLA game Mark 5s are 120 decibels. These are more like these.
So if anybody out there knows of a part-time job that I can get so that I can,
yeah, I got to figure out how we're going to utilize these. But they were really cool, and it did make a difference in the game. Like, yes, you could mortar your tag-in rounds from your launchers and get. I need to do a video on how far you can shoot.
There's a formula too for like targeting.
Oh yeah, like we had to go through training through TCA. So if you're buying these through Third Coast Airsoft, they make you do a training, and they give you a compass, and here's your 45 degrees, and then here's your, like, they tell you all the things. They have some cheat sheets. Actually, our shout out to our friend Brandon Chisholm from Endex. He actually helped develop an app where if you overlay your map, you can like. The reason I didn't shoot mine is clean. Mine is pristine virgin mortar because they didn't need it. And I'll be honest, it was a lot of math, and I didn't like. I'm buying this for our community to hopefully use at some of our games. I'm buying it to use for Baker Company when we go to a Third Coast Airsoft game again. But like, this mortars in a game, in a milsim game, change your thing. Like pyro changes it, vehicles change it. Knowing that you could get cluster bombed, like there were too many people who clustered, like as players, like, oh, we're gonna do something, and I got some 12-person kills.
I'll be honest with you, like when I saw that cluster bomb go off on top of the building, like these people were mortaring the rooftops, which you could.
Yeah.
And when you see it, it's literally like it fans out. It goes up and it's just everything just yeah. And I was like terrified, like, oh my god, that could be me up there. So that's why I didn't go on the rooftops. But yeah, they're scary. And hearing them, like they legitimately sound terrifying.
Yeah.
The videos don't do it justice what they sound like.
Again, it's just another layer, and I think you're going to see these. I don't know if Milsim West uses them. I assume they do, but like Third Coast Airsoft, this is a mainstay. Like they have Third Coast Airsoft has a relationship with IWA to make these rounds, to improve these rounds. Shout out to Lord, one of the Third Coast Airsoft staff, who was just a really cool guy and kind of talked to us about stuff. Like I bought the base unit, and Alex and I are already looking at things to mod and make it easier to deploy and stuff like that. Like again, we didn't even use it. I bought it and I didn't even use it. But so again, that use of pyro, guys, going to a Milsim, a Third Coast Airsoft Milsim event, fantastic. Bring it to Viking Raid.
What's Viking Raid?
So that's one of the big like tactical games. So I will say one of the things I have to be careful about is the usage of these is in some level prohibited. And this is another one of those things that
I would want to use a cluster one there.
I'm liable. There's a liability issue here, guys, using these. And this is where knowing how the world works, I can maybe slough off some things, but these, if I know that a field's not insured for this, I'm not going to use these because that's on me.
That has to be a separate insurance too, I bet.
Oh yeah, this is 100%.
This
like
is probably
when you
not
do your
going to be
training,
seen in Minnesota, kind of thing.
Yeah, like because Action Sports Wisconsin has a very specific kind of insurance, and they have a specific rider for aerial pyrotechnics. I know I can use it there. So
it wouldn't work anywhere, anyways, other than Big Lake. Like you couldn't use it at.
Yeah, but the range of these was, we were talking again,
trees,
200 meters for standard, 180. But I mean, let's say
it would work. It would work, Alex, at the new area at Champion Valley. There's enough.
The treetops would be. We'd have to make sure we're shooting into the clearing, though.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
At $40 a round, you want to make sure that they're going to hit, right? And there could be duds. We saw duds, so.
Too bad there wasn't a way of having, they could make cheap dummy, in a sense, rounds. They still shoot, but they don't explode, and maybe they're a little cheaper, I don't know.
I would love to see it, because like then what they say is, the weight, the cluster is a little bit lighter, so like they all have different things. And I actually was gonna buy more. We'll go through this pretty quick just because we're eating a lot of time on Stonebreaker, and yes, it was cool and everything, but like I wanted to go back to Junkies and buy some of these. And actually they was through Third Coast, but Third Coast does their retail through Junkies, but they ran out. They legit ran out. So like I couldn't buy any clusters they ran out of. And that's what I really wanted. Yeah, the lady who had seen me a lot because I bought a lot of stuff, she was like, just so you know, at the end, just so you know, we ran out of cluster bombs. And I was like, cool, but I won't even come back.
Good.
Yeah, good. I won't spend another $1,000 on stuff. I wanted to go down and buy some more Reapers because I know they still had some Reapers left, but I just didn't have time. And that's, as we're talking about these larger milsim things, and that this is the last thing.
Yeah,
when you're there to play, you're there to play. Like, there were guys filming. There's a lot of great footage. We're not very good at this. We don't have helmet cams. We tried to take pictures. So, but like, there was so much that was happening that was so cool. I'll just once again say that the command center, David, for you as a trailer guy, they had this huge trailer.
They had their huge
with
trailer.
Mounted screens, with a generator.
Staff, like a 3 or 4 person
staff. Oh,
staff.
and they can handle 7 people, and like maps with different things. Like they were full on digitally with mesh. Yeah, it was a really nice mobile command center. So like when people locally, we were talking about vehicles, like the vehicles at Third Coast Airsoft are so much better. Yes, but there's more money there. So was this command center. This command center was stupid. And I think when I talked to Liberty 6, he was like, "Oh, I'd make one of these for someone, but it'd be about $22,000 as a base price because that's what he's got into the base."
Did you get me any pictures?
I was supposed to do an interview and it just didn't work out because we were there to play. Like if we had not done tier 1, we would have had time to do stuff, but we just didn't. We ran.
That was literally next level shit.
Yeah, well, there are other pictures. We'll get some, and we'll just actually have those guys.
I'm designing the new trailer, so I
know,
know.
and
your trailer will not come near what these guys.
No, but here's the thing. That also took them 3 years to get to that. Right.
Like, this was like a snowmobile trailer.
Yeah, my next one's a 16-foot enclosed.
Well, and this was bigger. And what they want to do is they actually want to do another one that actually has sleeping in the front and then command in the back. Like it had
for 24-hour games.
Yeah, for the
I'm done. It's time for a pickup truck and a fifth wheel 24-foot trailer, and I'm screwing it. I'm selling a kidney. Again, anybody want to buy a kidney?
This is also where like we're talking about like you can come as a shooter and just shoot and you'll have a great time. But if you actually want to do squad level stuff, like they were talking, like there was real organization from command. Shout out to our buddy Eric Pekizer who wants to get into more of this aspect of the game. This is what you want, Eric. You need to. We'll hook you up with the guys running the talk for Western because the Eastern side doesn't have anything like this. Like their whole thing all day was looking at screens, trying to position, trying to figure out where they were going to drop JDAMs, trying to reposition people. Like that's your command and conquer top view down playing. Like we weren't really making use of mesh this time. This time they want to, but anyway,
will they be in Texas? Will they be in Texas?
Yes. No. Yeah. So that's a big thing. For anybody who's interested in going to Starburst, we know because we're going to Starburst. Liberty 6 is bringing that truck down to Starburst. Usually they're I think they said they were South Carolina or Georgia. They're from the East Coast though, Georgia, southern and east. So but they're gonna bring it down to Starburst in Texas in October. And we're hearing, David, first 2 weekends of October is usually when they do Starburst. With the world the way it is right now, using Fort Hood's training facility is difficult.
Right.
Logistically, right? So obviously real soldiers need to train before a bunch of chucklehead airsoft players get to go in. But either way, yeah, they're coming down. So I can't say enough good things. I wish I would have, I didn't take pictures because I thought I was going to film it. And it's incredible. Like they did carpeting on the side, which was all in panels. So if they wanted to swap it out for like another thing, they had all that there. They had dry erase boards. They had, again, 5 dedicated screens. They're using micro PCs. They did have a microwave. Yeah. And when it rained, they closed it up and they still had good ventilation. Again, it was next level stuff, guys. So, but back to the initial thing is we were there to play. So we had to really kind of choose what we wanted to take pictures. So that's why you saw.
I guess I could have, but I was limping around and
yeah, you were wrecked. But we didn't take pictures. We didn't take good pictures of the Humvee we were in or the Iron Legion Humvee. We got some minor stuff of the choppers just because we were just kind of random. But
I think
I don't know how other people do it. And there's some great footage out there. If you go to the Third Coast Airsoft's community page, there's lots of stuff up there. What was that?
You just need a dedicated person.
Or you need to dedicate your time. And they send, we were talking about it. I'm not going to pay to go to a Third Coast Airsoft game as press.
How much is press?
I don't know. I don't know if they actually charge for press. I just
feel like everybody charges for a press.
That's where a lot of people's partners go.
I feel like, dude, just let them take pictures.
It's Echo Point 5. That's why, Echo Point 5, she comes and does our video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just advertising for everybody.
Again, we have a bunch of stuff that I was actually going to send to you, David, but you were busy too. Again, it's really just one of those things.
I wouldn't have been too busy for that.
I mean, I still have video that I have to download and go through, but it was really great. Everyone should go. Okay, Emperor left. Again, it's a great event if you get a chance to play anything Third Coast, but that GTI is a great site. We were trying to decide between Guardian Center and GTI, and I was the one who told Alex GTI I think is a better place than Guardian Center.
Well, if the vehicles and stuff are like that again, Guardian Center is the one in Indiana.
I can't remember. I think that's right. Someone look it up. Someone
sounds right.
Check it for us. But Guardian Center doesn't pull this kind of attraction.
So
Like usually there's a chopper at GTI.
yes, which was a little bird. I heard they get Hueys, and I think I would do a Huey ride.
It was supposed to be a Huey, and at the last minute they had to change it to a little bird.
But I mean, watching like I was parked right at. I had a front view of the helicopter, of the load and unload, and man, that was cool watching them take off.
I will say, if people are questioning, so they didn't allow, and there was a reason, and we can get into it. But like they didn't allow launchables. Georgia, thank you.
What's the one in Indiana?
Something else.
Oh,
that
GT or that was the one that there was all that drama, right?
there's always drama.
Oh yeah, wasn't that
Oh,
the
shit.
one where Mir had that issue last year? You're talking about in Indiana, right?
If only the Indiana one was still open. Yeah, I think they closed it. I think they just. I don't think they closed it. I think they just stopped.
Close it to
allowing yours
public. Yeah.
Yeah. So the big thing I want to say is, if you're interested in doing chopper ride, it seemed really cool. A buddy of ours who does it all the time, they didn't allow tag and launchables, which is a bummer because that's a really good use if you're a launcher guy.
Yeah,
not much.
MUTA or something.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
it.
MUTA.
They only allowed just LMGs from the chopper, and it was not terribly effective. So you get your rah-rahs out, and I think it was
No, it's
like
a helicopter ride.
It's a helicopter ride
That's
for
it.
$150 where you get to be LARPed up and shoot. But like,
You don't even get to hit anything.
I mean, we got strafed, but like literally, they were just kind of like a rain.
I feel
Like, I didn't notice it.
I feel like the energy after it comes out of the BBs, like by the time it hits the ground, it's just,
That's what they were saying.
It's
The
just-
wash is not
Point 0.00001 joules when it hits you.
no,
like it's
no,
literally
it
just
doesn't even
falling out of
hit
the
you.
sky at that point.
It doesn't even hit you; it rains on you. It like just falls on you.
I mean, but if those people had a great time doing it, but again, our buddy who has done that several times and usually does tag and launchables, he was like, yeah, it wasn't worth it for him. And if so, and the reason that there was a bad batch of tagging, and which had caused them to blow up in the tube, or like right out, like the second you shot, like the timer.
You didn't hit it. You know, you would have thought you would have got.
I mean,
one of those.
yeah.
Could you imagine
Not it.
Black Hawk down at an airsoft event? Holy crap. That would be
Well, that's what it looked like when these choppers were going.
Like the strafing was dope. It was 100% cool. And if you haven't had a chopper fly overhead during a game, even by accident, it really was cool. But like maybe the first couple times they went around, I would look to see if it was tan or green and be like, oh my God, I should be worried. And at some point, it just didn't matter.
It didn't matter. They were just flying over your head.
yes,
They were
James.
combat and effective.
The
from our
answer
point of
to
view.
James is always yes.
Yes. Yes, you should. Like GTI is great. Like having been to Guardian Center just once, there's a lot more choke points. Guardian or GTI, we got to use the whole woods. Like I ended up in the woods a lot, and I was fine with that.
I never saw it.
Because you never
Like I actually never saw the other half of that field. I was always stuck on
that one hill.
Yep.
Yeah, there was one area of high contention. And for the record, Western, which is the team we played, we were Baker on Western. We did end up winning that game. The points actually ended up being pretty good. There were a lot of war crimes.
I could care less who wins.
I just want it to be fair, and like in the end, we were close enough that it could have been anybody's game, which I think is a good game.
Now, is
like
it
for Sunday morning?
Third Coast thing, or is that somebody else that like next year you guys pick up kind of where you left off the year before? No.
I think they do some of that, but like even for like phase 2, so there was phase 1, which is Saturday morning, phase 2, Saturday evening, and then phase 3, Sunday. Sometimes they'll say you'll start where you ended on phase 1. The commanders decided to, like, for whatever reason, just reset. So when phase 2 started, everybody was rushing into the same spots. I don't know that it actually did make a huge difference. Green was actually, we did very well. Western did very well in phase 1. Phase 2, Green really came back, and that's because they did the reset. And then phase 3, I think we still did a reset. We started from our AAs, and yeah, at some point you just kind of start to learn the field a little bit more, so everybody kind of knows certain things.
So that must have been that must be a different airsoft, promoter, because I was reading something on Facebook, one of them, that where they end, the points that they hold, the points that they have, it's a continuation every year of that game. And they,
AMS does do some level of that with their larger games.
All right.
Like the storyline does travel. I'll be honest, I just don't pay attention to it much. I
don't read into it. I'm there for the venue and having fun with everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think we can say enough good things about the event. We had a good time. There's pluses and minuses of every event, and we did have some lower ones. We can do a different video about our pluses and minuses, but we don't have to do it over the live stream. But it was great, and everyone should go. Everyone should try a Third Coast, but also it's about the venue. But I will say,
It's always about the venue.
it's always about the venue. Like if you can ever play in a mall, you should play in a mall. Like just
one time.
One time
I'll
at
play
least.
One time.
Like I will play new malls every time. I'm not going
Mall
to
of
go back to
America,
the same
here
mall
I come.
twice.
Oh, wait.
Would you
Yep.
do a hospital
man.
again?
If it's a different, like I'll be it's like this is why Sheboygan, like all I know is at some point buildings are just 2 stairwells and choke points.
Yes,
and hallways and choke
and
points.
a center point.
Yeah. So again, but there's like these kinds of things. Going to Fort Hood and playing both mount sites, it's incredible, right? Like, and we didn't even get to see the second half. That's why
we only saw one.
So, and
I played the whole day that one.
Yeah.
I didn't take a nap.
No, you didn't.
Seriously?
But, so I was 2K into Stonebreaker before we landed in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh man. Well, the food doesn't help either.
And I mean, but honestly, we didn't eat fancy because we were stretched for time. Like I spent $1,500 on pyro. So like my total bill right now, based on the spreadsheet, is $5,000.
Oh damn!
For Stonebreaker, but I bought this mortar. I bought $1,000 worth of Reapers. Like I went nuts. I went nuts. I should not have gone nuts.
I should have bought a mortar.
You should.
But then again, like, what was I going to do with it?
I mean,
modify it, knowing you.
He's just going to take mine and modify it. But like,
it would have been in the same thing. Like I would have bought it and been like, okay.
Starburst was cheaper for us though. Everything about Starburst was cheaper. Now I'm going to definitely buy more tag-ins, but I'll hope to send them home.
If they have more rounds, I'll pitch in if we do these guys.
And that's the other thing, I guess, sidebar, and then we should shift to a couple other things before we try to close is there are a lot of teams who go to these Third Coast Airsoft games, teams who go, like Iron Legion does this. If you're a part of Iron Legion, you pay a membership fee.
I'm pretty sure that's what it sounded like.
No, yeah.
Oh, you talked to him?
No, but that's what we're saying. Like Baker Company, like larger Rich Cudahy, like you share some of those costs. So like if we go and we bring a mortar, he'll just say, everybody pull up some money so we can buy some rounds. Now, Rich also just donates a lot of his time and money. I just threw my grenades in and I did not come back with many grenades. I didn't come back with any grenades. So like when you go to these bigger games, depending on the organization of the team you're with, you might need to kick in a little bit. Or just be like, I'm just on my own. I'm not taking anybody's shit. I'm not, but that's another level of, I think, higher level of play here. You got those teams who are like, in order to afford this Humvee with this thermal, everybody's going to kick in a fee.
Ugh.
As opposed to one person shelling out all the cash. It makes it more possible. Anyway.
I feel the pain.
Yeah. Yep, we're all there in certain levels. But Stonebreaker, great. Go next year. I can't say enough good things. One of the other sidebars I'll say is people knew, like as we were driving up, we said, our goal is that we want people to know who we are by the time we leave.
Immediately.
And people immediately knew who we were, both Alex and I, from YouTube, from other things. So one of the things that Rich said as he was leaving, and because there were other people from the Midwest there, was I would expect, I'm hoping, and we'll invite them. They're always welcome. I bet you we'll have a Third Coast Airsoft presence at the con next year, just because there's enough Minnesota Midwestern players going to their events that it's worth it to them. Like Alex from Mir already is tapping. He's a Midwest guy already, so he's already with us. And again, we appreciate everything he does in the Midwest. I bet you some other national organizers start to pay attention. And that's the work of David. That's the work of Alex. All of us doing more videos. And again, everyone who's already been going to these events and taking films, like people are noticing that, it phases, right? It ups and downs, but there's already people from Midwest, but people knew us.
I'm disappointed I didn't get to make a video in an excavator or
Yeah, Alex had this plan where he was gonna. There's a lot of vehicles and things on field, and he was like, I'm at some point I'm just gonna walk into every vehicle and I'm gonna do the, hey, it's Alex, blah blah. Like we didn't have time. Again, we were too busy playing or being hurt. So anyway, we could talk about it even longer, but
yeah, we've got 90 minutes in.
Yeah.
What do you want to read?
Hey, we're just going to do a really quick update on. So last week we talked about the New York State had 2 bills come across the floor, and I guess it's still in my notes, right? One was in the Senate, and the other one was an assembly bill.
Yeah, an assembly bill.
We actually had some people who saw our videos and reach out to me on Reddit and were like, hey, as a New York player, yes, anything that happens is not good, but like they're not concerned. And like there's a guy, and we can share it later, or I mean, if you just go to Reddit, and there's a guy who's like, New York State NYS. I never call New York State NYS, but he's like, we're not worried about the ban. And he kind of laid it out, like, here's the line by line and his thought processes on it. And he was basically like, anything is bad, but really the biggest thing would be we'd be going from 16 to 18, and some of the guns might be modified. So really the stores, anyone selling was really going to be affected. The players were not at this point going to be as much. So just kind of a follow up to New York players. At least a couple of the people we talked to were like, yeah, this isn't anything we're really concerned about. It's not going to pass anywhere. So we did talk about it last week.
Oh yeah.
So I thought,
talk about it. We got to bring updates as they come in,
yeah.
just
as we talk about things. And
we would not be credible journalists if we didn't.
Oh man, are we credible journalists? I hope we don't have that. So I just, just kind of follow up on that. We'll keep watching it. But the interesting thing from my point of view is, like, someone saw our video and was like, hey man, we saw you were talking about our bill, our New York State bill, and here's our viewpoint. I was like, hey man, sweet, thank you. So thank you for watching. I don't remember your name.
We're crossing state lines now.
Yeah, that means we're federally liable now.
Shit.
All right, 8:33. I'm gonna skip through some of this.
If you guys got any questions, go ahead and shout them out.
Yeah,
I always like,
whether it be about drug wars or
anything, man,
or
any questions. I like just reading
hot takes. Hot take time.
We should talk about hot takes. Let's do some hot takes.
My hot take: if you go to a game and it's a LARP game, LARP.
Yeah, man.
Drug wars.
Get into it.
It wasn't airsoft. It was LARPing. Like Travis said in the briefing, this was more about the immersion, the role play, the getting together, and you just had so many people that were just out there just
do the stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, it's your opportunity. Like Alex was talking about that old game that Dolph ran, that was the Apocalypse game, the Mad Max game, and people wore football,
Dude, we all got
football
into
pads. Like,
I was spray painting people the Cobra emblem on their own.
Speaking of hotcakes.
Oh, I do like hotcakes. Yeah, if you're gonna do one of those, like, again, there are events where you get more out of it if you get into it like that.
And there's also, I guess, when people get, like, I feel like when people come off the field mad, like at a game like that, it's like contagious. Like when people are like getting all butthurt about something, and I don't know.
Expand on that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like when people are getting mad about games, like, oh, it's not going right, or it's unfair. The teams are off, or what. Like people complain about, like when they start complaining about everything, I feel like other people hear that, and it's like.
So your hot take is, don't let.
Yes, don't let like.
Don't let negative vibes.
Perfect. Negative vibes. Because, like I say, like I feel like enough people complain about the game, and then the game just goes to hell.
And that's the thing. One of those type of drug war style games, other things like that, like the Galactic Star Wars, those kind of games they're immersion games. They're meant to be a role play scenario that just so happens to be at airsoft with airsoft guns. And Apollo's thing, no, they didn't attack us at all, in the morning. They just spent the whole afternoon attacking us.
Like there's a point, everybody in their airsoft career needs to decide what they're going to do when they go to a game. If you're going to a big game, it's not an open session. You should be planning to be out for the day or whatever the phase is. Like with all the games coming up, with both GAG coming up, and these are local games I'm talking about, like with GAG coming up and with all the different events happening at Big Lake, know the rules. Hey, Phase 1 is 3 hours. Expect to be on the field for 3 hours. If there are uniforms, get into the uniforms. Like, stop thinking about open sessions when you're going to games that aren't open sessions. That makes sense?
If the game has a name, it's not an open session. If it has something like a Viking raid, a Nightshade, Drug Wars, it's a higher tier than an open play.
And like this is where when we're talking about like GAG's high intensities, they are trying to make those themed games too. Maybe not in a uniform sense, but in a mindset. Like there might be puzzles, there might be more missions. If you just want to go out and get your rocks off and shoot, cool. You do you, but realize that some of these other games, people will put a lot of time and money into something a little bit more intricate. Something
immersion.
I mean, it is. It's different levels of immersion. Like Star Wars game, like that was, you were from Theta 5. Again, I can't get into it because it's too nerdy for me. But like, people want that. Don't ruin it for other people by being like, oh, I just wore my jeans and my tactical vest. Like, again, just kind of be thoughtful, guys.
Like a dirtbag in a Vietnam.
Well, no, you want to be a dirtbag in a Vietnam game who's actually immersion Vietnam. You want to be a dirtbag.
Because if I do the immersion in the Vietnam game, like there's, like it wouldn't be the perfect scenario.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who really get into the LARPing more. They like really get into it. We talked about this last week. Your Russian accents. That is
immersion. Just let them have their immersion. That's their thing.
This is why I also just go, cool. I struggle with some of this too, but like, it's also the play level I'm talking about. Like the immersion can be uniforms, it can be accents, it can be, but it also is just a mindset, like mission-based mindset.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that I'm not sure where that hot take.
I saw too many people running around, or even when we were trying to role play with them, that next thing you know, it was, oh, you're dead. We were having a conversation in a role play and you just turned it into, I'm just going to pull out my pistol and shoot you because I don't want to talk anymore. And now you're dead. I got to kill. Ha, ha, ha. Go away.
Well, and depending on the kind of game that can have, like, I actually enjoy games that have some level of consequences for those actions. Yeah. Like it's hard in a big game. Like if you shoot somebody just because you want to get your rocks off, but then later that group doesn't talk to you anymore or they attack you.
Or everyone's headhunting him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I can't confirm or deny that did not happen or did happen, after not wanting to be immersed in the game. I do like it. Travis said, if you want to play a big game or if you want to just run around and play like open play, I'll refund your money. You can come back next weekend. Yeah. He said it right in the briefing.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Now, and it's funny because I think Big Lake has the most amount of people who just show up.
Yep.
That's not a dig. They just have a local fan base that doesn't check the schedule. And this is why we're trying to do these 2-week, 3-week, weekly rundown things, is so people can actually go, oh, there's a larger game that has actual rules. And
read the rules.
Yeah, read the rules. So Peter DeLeader, you did ask a question. Do you also keep track of Minnesota gun laws? I'm very concerned about its recent developments.
It failed.
Yes, we do watch. Any legislation having to do with real guns will affect us in some way. Until I see the actual world Airsoft, I usually don't get too concerned. But this is where, and we do live in a very politically minded state. I'm trying to be very careful about our words here. Some of the recent stuff that has come out has been pretty restrictive and should be concerning. Also, this is where outstate Minnesota really helps. This is like most restrictive laws having to do with firearms. The metro areas, the cosmopolitan areas tend to have lots of great ideas and not understand how the world works. And outstate where hunters are, so, and
Cosmopolitan,
I've said it before.
Is that a drink?
It is a drink, but it's also frou-frou city people. If you don't know about Gokra, you should. Like we are all real steel people of varying levels. But I will also say this is not this is not a real steel live stream. So when we talk about laws, it's how it pertains to Airsoft. And it does. And what we said last week as relating to the New York State laws or bills that were coming up was anytime any state sees something, it sets a precedent for any other state or any other government to look at and go, oh, they did it, we should do it. So we keep an eye on things, but as it pertains to airsoft mostly. I have that's not a hot take I'm interested in talking about. Hey, let's talk projects.
Uh-oh.
You want to go with me?
Yeah, no, I mean all of us. What projects do people have going on? Alex, do you have anything in the hopper?
I kind of do, and I'm if
you don't want to give secrets away, don't give secrets.
I don't care. Like I'm gonna make it and give it away to free for anybody who wants it. Like if I
because of course you are. Yeah.
Well, I won't give it. Like if I design, if I make some type of 3D printed.
Tell them about the tennis ball thing at Stonebreaker.
What tennis ball thing?
I'm not going to tell you what. Like the guy who wouldn't tell us what brand of tennis balls.
Oh yeah.
So there was a gatekeeping incident.
Yeah, there was a gatekeeper. Like I am totally not a gatekeeper guy.
That's where I'm going with this.
And so like this guy's like, yeah, you got to get these tennis balls because they're the best fitting for so and so. Or like, what are they? Oh, I'm not going to tell you. You got to find out the way I did. Yeah. It's like
I bought them 3 times before I bought the right ones.
Tell us that.
Yeah.
So did you just wait until he shot one and went and stole it?
No.
No, I actually gave them all back, but like, really, dude?
What did he do? Sand all the name off of it?
So who knows?
They were more fuzzies what it was. So like I have now like 5 more things. This guy doesn't know who we are. Like I'm going to spend another $1,000 buying tennis balls.
Yeah,
Right. The right one.
Nobody knows who we are. Recognize.
So, and I'm the kind of guy that like, if you tell like, hey, where'd you guys get that? Oh, I made these here. This is how I got it. Or this is where you get these. This is where I found it. Like, there's no hiding that stuff. Like, if you're gonna find it, if you want to find it, you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Just tell them where you got it.
But like, so what are you thinking that you're gonna work on next?
Next is like, so I got some ideas that I wouldn't say poached because I've already thought about doing this stuff. But like I'm looking at so we have the Havocs and I'm thinking about
the Havoc launcher, the Metadyne Havoc launcher.
So they're not rifled for anything, so they can't take tag-in rounds or anything like that. But I feel like I can make an adapter to make them accept it. And so now that I've kind of seen one, I've got a great idea on how to make one. And then I'm going to try that out because Gabe's got something I can use and I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm going to, look at your mortar system, see what we can do to make it easier for us to make it more easier deployable, more easier to acquire targets, I guess.
Yeah. And there's like the mortar thing. There's a lot of people. There's a community that we have to join.
Yep.
But there's a lot of people who bought these and they're very new in the grand scheme of things as far as because they're cost prohibitive. But there's people who are already, again, they're making apps. I think I said that already. Our shout out to our friend Brandon Chisholm from Index who made an app to use with the mortars, whether or not that's convenient versus using a compass and a sheet with yardage. But like we started to think about things having watched them be deployed.
Yes.
On maybe better ways to get hits.
And then I don't know, lately, I was putting I've been marking my magazines. I don't know if you guys can
show it all the way up in the front.
See that kind of stuff. I've been doing that this past couple days. Mark your magazines, guys.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Another hot take. It's been said, and it needs to be said again because no matter how many times you say it, you always find stuff on the field with no name on it.
No names.
Especially at these big games, we found tons of stuff with no names on it. People are running around dropping magazines and
expensive stuff too.
Yeah, expensive stuff, guys. Put your names on it. Come on.
That's my winter project there is to get all my magazines laser engraved.
So, well, I know a guy. So
yeah. We know a guy.
I know 2 guys that I'm sending half to one, half the other, just so they get done, right away.
Make them compete.
But other than that, guys, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
So no new gun builds you're thinking about yet?
I might do the AEG.
Yeah. So shout out.
I'm in the talks right now.
Damn it,
There we
see?
go. Our Armory's here now. Shout out to Jeff Blaisdell from Altar Forge. Alex is probably going to reach out to you.
I already did.
Oh, did you already?
Yeah. We're kinda,
Going back to AEGs, this like again, we're not AEG guys mostly, right? Your Colt 9, what is it? What do they call it?
UE,
Was it?
Department of Energy.
Yeah, the
Colt.
D&E. His 9 mil, like he just didn't have the reaction he wanted it to. Like it literally be like pull trigger, then shoot. And he's like, this is where again, we're not gate guys. We're not, we don't know anything about brushless or like that's just not a thing that we really concentrate on until you need it. And then Alex was very much like, oh, I feel like this could be tuned much better.
And I'm not willing to learn. At least
Does it have a
AEG.
Titan
So
2 in
maybe-
that?
What's that? No,
You-
no. It is the oldest V2 Maru. Like it's super
Oh.
old, man. It has nothing in it. It has nothing in it.
No FCU or anything?
No,
Oh.
God, no. So like so he was gonna reach out to Jeff at Altar and just be like, hey, I don't know if you're gonna have him do the work or if you're gonna do it yourself,
I
but
think
either
I'm just gonna
way,
buy the stuff
like-
and be like, here you go.
yeah, there we go. So that's again not your project, but something you're gonna be starting to work on.
So yeah, just that. And then I don't know. I had another project I was thinking about doing, like a front mount air tank for vehicle crew guys who want HPA.
Yeah. Like
So-
my Havoc launcher ended up getting used quite a bit I used my tag in, but our vehicle used my Havoc with tennis balls. And it was a perfectly viable launcher, even at a large Milsim event where people are spending, lots of money
Well,
on
you
tagging.
said it perfectly. Like if you're riding a technical, you cannot have a backpack. Like it does not work.
Yeah, sitting inside.
Like you cannot ride a technical with anything except a plate carrier.
And even
you're,
that.
you're
And
gonna end
even-
up sitting sideways, or you're gonna end up, leaning forward the whole time. Next thing you know, you're eating the seat because someone
And,
slammed on the
like,
brakes.
I avoided getting into the front. Any seat, I just got on the hatchback. I just got on the back.
Yep.
I never sat in if I didn't have to because it's just too small. It is not comfortable. But so you got some things that we took from
I should give it
Starburst.
to 'em, though. Like
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna be. After this week, I won't be home for about a month. So
Yeah, and then when you get back, you're leaving again. But
so yeah, I don't know when to like I said, that's why I wanted to do your projects like now because I got time.
okay, well, good. David, got any projects you're working on, or is it
my
all
pro-
finance? Your project is finances.
No, my projects are all infrastructure related. And upgrading. I spent the beginning part of this year upgrading, gear and all that. So my next half of the year is designing the new team trailer. I want to go with a like a 16-footer, be a walk-in, being able to my 5x8, little, or my 4x8x4. I've maxed out, and
It's just a gear hauler at this point.
yeah, just a gear hauler. I want to turn into one and be able to have shelves on the side and stuff on the side, batteries charging as going down the road, solar. That's the second half of the year designing, and then probably over the winter get and build, and then
Refrigerator.
well, yep. It'll have a
cold
fridge.
drink.
It's gonna have 400 amp hour batteries in it. Plus, it's gonna have 30 watts of solar charging and TVs
Drinking.
and
Drinking fountain on the side.
beer
Filter.
tap on the side. Oh,
Here we go.
but no, and then other little infrastructure things. I'm working on. I just can't find. I'm trying to process through my head and trying to find some sort of comms and ear pro that just work. My big ass ears on my little ass head. I don't know. I've tried. I just 2 weeks ago I went and spent a few $100s on ear pro that I ended up ripping off my helmet and saying, "Screw it,
Oh.
I'm done."
Yeah.
Really? Like what? Like earmores?
No, I went above Earmores and keg on the side. I went above Earmores. I don't remember the name brand. They were actual shooting ear pro with the 3.5 to go down to the shoulder mic this time to try to, because
Yeah, you talked about that.
because I bought a UV5R mini that has the AB button on it with the shoulder mic that has the AB button, because again, when the team comes out, we're usually 2 squads, or I'm ended up being, you know, whether or not I'm some sort of squad leader, platoon leader or something, and I was having to talk back to command. I was running dual radios to a dual PTT, and the headset, you know, most modern ear pro, the second one's keyed up, you go to key up the other one. Now it's just garbling everything in it, from your mic to all that, because it's not realizing what it's trying to do.
We should 100% do a comms. And like I'm not a comms expert by any means, but we can kind of talk about what we've gone through.
I know there's a
Talking about
couple.
me?
I know there's at least one guy within
No.
the MAA that's a
Well-
comms guy, and I might have to buy him a few
So-
beers one night. And
Here's the thing that's starting to happen. Like we started to get into digital, like because Rich from
Yep.
again from like he's all of those guys who are playing at that third coast level are starting to get digital. Our buddy Tank just got digital because at Action Sports they're running DM32 digitals. So like
Yep.
like there's a whole new thing that's happening now with people starting to just up their thing. Like
$20.
what's that?
Like $20.
They are not $20 radios. They are not UV5Rs. These are but they're not expensive. They're also $120 radios.
a DM32 you can get for like $60, 60 or $70.
If you depending on the full
can't do
kit, like
that.
I bought a DM1701 that I was supposed to have programmed while we were in Georgia, and it didn't happen, or we're in South Carolina. So now I have this useless radio for myself. In the end, like comms is like everybody wants comms, and then nobody wants to spend money on comms. So like it's an interesting thing.
Everyone
And
wants pyro, but they don't want to spend.
everybody wants pyro and doesn't want to spend the money on pyro. So yeah, I think we could do a whole day where we just talk about our setups and maybe pull in some other people to talk about it, because it's not hard, but you do have to tune it appropriately and put some thought into it. So I think that's a great topic. We could just spend a whole live stream talking about comms, because like, so I played night missions. We don't usually play night games. At some point, one of the guys I was with was like, "Hey, every time you're keying your radio or someone's keying your screen, even though it was again, I have like a flip open pouch. They're like, I can see the light." And I was like, "Oh shoot!" Like my light discipline was terrible because this was happening. I don't play enough night games for that to matter, but I also realized I don't futz with my radio enough for me to have a flip open kind. So like I'll probably change my radio setup, or at least how I carry it. But I'm running Ops Core amps. I'm running $1,200 headset with a $200 or $150 Disco 32 PTT on a $60 radio.
Yeah.
But it's solid, right? So anyway, that's something we can do.
Yeah.
Any other projects for you?
No, just playing games, and you know, I'm investing more and more time in, you know, the YouTube channel. And I'd just like to say at that point where I'm talking about it, I want to thank everybody out there in the community. Last 28 days, we had over 50,000 views on the channel. You don't know how appreciative I am. I saw that, you know, it was, thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches the videos, comments, likes, and subscribes. You know,
And
Project Echo,
and on top of that,
YouTube wouldn't be here without you.
yeah, if you see us at a field and you want to talk to us about stuff, again, reach out to us. We're still kind of figuring everything out. David's doing really good stuff with doing footage. But you know, for me, we're just trying to do silly stuff or informative stuff. So between the MAA channel and the Project Echo Airsoft channel, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for recognizing us out when we're out and about. We're just still getting our feet under us as far as how much we're doing. And if I'm going to talk about projects, my projects are, I still need to finish up my getting to know your local field for TCA. I want to get that out before GAG, simply because some of you might be going to Twin Cities Airsoft for the first time. They are changing, as we discussed offline, how they're doing parking. So that might affect, maybe I'll have to do an addendum on that. Yes, there's some mixed, I'm not, as a non-camper, I don't really care. But also I will flex and not park in the new area if I can help it. I will park in the old area as much as I can. But yeah, so like I want to get that done. We're in the season of playing. So honestly, we might have some projects here and there, but timing, it's the summer. So other things are happening just with life, and then just actually playing. I want to get out and play. I'm hoping to be out at Champion Valley for their first Saturday. You're going to see Alex and I start helping to ref at some games at Big Lake. I'm not going to Spring GAG. David, you're still probably
Yes, I'm still going, Darren. We need to talk.
parking and camping notwithstanding. David's planning on that. Alex has a very busy personal schedule this year, personal and work schedule. So, like last year, you had to really plan
Yeah.
what you could do to play.
But if I do go out, it's like I like being around Airsoft and just being at fields and just being there and seeing the people. Like I might not be able to get to play, but I sure like seeing, like going to Crossfire. Like I love talking to Joel. I love talking to Adam.
Yeah, we love talking to all of you guys too. So
I love running the guys.
I found myself ended up doing that at Sheboygan. I looked back at the footage I had. I had 3.5 hours of footage from my helmet cam of actual playtime at Sheboygan. The rest of the time I was socializing. People were coming up to me. People's things were not going other people's way. So I started helping people, with certain but I'm with you there, Alex. I some of these games I might not even pay to go to play. I just might go set up shop and hang out. That's
what I was kind of thinking about doing. That's why I was kind of seeing what people were thinking about, like between you, David, and Gabe. Like, what you guys gonna go out this weekend? Maybe I'll, just float out there and just say what's up. And
like it being Mother's Day weekend is kind of a weird
waste my morning, but
yeah. No, I mean that's the thing, right? Like for us in the city, like David, you're so close to a couple of fields. Like just rolling in is kind of easy for some things. Again, you'll see us out there, but scheduling. If I have another project, as David already said, like I'm trying to schedule out what I'm going to do the rest of the season. So
yeah,
it's a thing, right? Like trying to get out there. What content, if you have ideas of content you want us to film while we're out at places, or if you just want more gameplay footage, more silly footage, more find Alex, kind of stuff. We're trying to do content that we think the community finds useful. So
I'm somewhere every weekend for sure, starting next week.
Yeah, this was my fifth. Last weekend was my fifth week.
Until 4th of July. I am somewhere. So 4, 5, 6, the next 6 weeks, I'm somewhere, and I may or may not be, going down to, harass somebody on Sunday. Okay, I'm going to Champion Valley on Sunday, so I will be at Champion Valley on Sunday hanging out. So if anybody wants to hang out, Alex.
Yeah, because you haven't been out the Champion.
No, that's on Sunday.
Yeah,
Mother's Day.
Because Mother's Day. But you have mothers to
I do have 2 mothers, but I already gave them stuff, so I don't think I have.
So maybe you're free already.
You took one with you overseas, so.
I took both of them overseas.
Oh, you took both of them overseas. Well, there you go. Yeah. That was Mother's Day, birthday, and Christmas.
Airsoft Armory, you already said it's our community. It's not yours. No, of course, Airsoft Armory, you're part of this community. Actually, you're a big part of this community. I love the Minnesota Airsoft community. There you go. That is a better notice. So, well, as you guys have ideas, let us know. If not, we're just kind of doing what we're doing.
We're here.
Hopefully, we'll do better.
No
if
promises.
You like stuff, please share it. Yeah, please share both our channels, both our content. If you have questions about anything, let us know. Let's close her down as we're getting close to 9. Alex, anything you want to close down with?
Get out there, have fun.
Season started.
Season is short.
It'll be over before you know it, guys.
It's over before you know it, and get to one big game, I guess. Like experience one. Like one, and it doesn't have to be a Third Coast game. It can be anything. Just get to a big game out there. So. I don't know. Have fun. It's just a game, like always.
Just a game. David, anything you want to close with?
Like I do every time. Thank you to the community. We 100% would not be here without the community. And remember, Airsoft is about community. If be kind to everybody. If someone needs help them. Bring up the younger guys. We need the younger people because eventually it's just going to be all of us old timers sitting around. We need people to shoot at. Sorry.
Whoa. That went a different direction.
Yeah, no, but thank you. I am completely humbled by everything especially after Con. Seeing the community, it was different for me last year at Con. I was just a participant. I just went and, walked around this year, actually staying in pretty much one place and watching everybody walk by. It was humbling to see the people come out to support, all the hard work.
Yeah. Wait till you do it for 10 years and you see the guys that you only see them at
the ones that
Connery.
the first time they went and bought their first gun at like 14, and next thing you know, they're like, I'm getting married. Oh, yeah. No. Oh.
Well, now I'll close. I'll write on that one. And this is just the Minnesota airsoft community is starting to get recognized more, as it should. And we really do have a special community, guys. We're not as competitive. We're not as ego driven. And when I say that, I don't mean to slam other areas. We actually we met some fantastic people last weekend. But take I don't want to say Minnesota nice because that's so cliche, but our community is a lot nicer, I think, than a lot of others. So hold on to that. Take that, bring it wherever you go, be the helpful person, and let people know that Minnesota and the Midwest has great quality airsoft, because we do. Word to your mothers, even. Drop the zero and get with the hero, as my friend Vanilla Ice once said.
And subscribe, smash.
It's usually smash the like and subscribe. So
he doesn't. When he gets a chance to smash, he just smashes whatever he can now. That sounds
Hulk
terrible.
smash.
So, on behalf of David with Project Echo Airsoft and Minnesota Airsoft Association, on behalf of Alex and myself, thank you all for joining us tonight in our live stream. We'll see you next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 Central Time. Be safe out there. Play some airsoft, and we'll see you out on the fields.
Good night.
Night.
Lock in. Mask up. Game on. Let's go. Minnesota.